And here we go. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Welcome to BWTM Sports Online. If you haven't already, please hit the subscribe button. Check us out on BWTM Online on Instagram, BWTM Online on Facebook, and check out our blog page as well. Hope you can hear me loud and clear. This broadcast is brought to you from the island of Trinidad and Tobago. So if you are watching from the island of Trinidad and Tobago, shout out to you. Particularly if you're from San Fernando or Marabella, much love to you all on the island of TNT. The time is now 8:30 Trinidad time, which is about it's 8:30 up here. So it's about 12 or 12:20. Watch must be a bit wrong. Let me check my time here properly. Right, 8:20, or 18 minutes past 8 to be precise. Okay, so let's get into things. Good evening, Eddie. Good evening, Phil Harve. B. White, British true box fan. Copend09. Slicks. This has to be a joke. Well, unfortunately, it's not a joke. It is actually pretty true. Actually, an article in the Sun newspaper that's come up. Feeling the glove. Audley Harrison set for sensational return to boxing 4.5 years after retiring at the age of 47. So I guess Audley's chasing to become the old heavyweight champion in history. Well, I guess that's I don't know. Says the last fight was a first round stoppage to Deontay Wilder in 2013, but he's planning a comeback. Actually, the night before Deontay Wilder did his 1 round destruction on Audley, actually got an interview with Deontay Wilder. We spoke on Skype. So 2013 was the last time I spoke to Deontay Wilder, obviously. But yeah, so that long time ago. My old classmate and my family used to manage Audley before he, up to the point of when he was unbeaten. And then they parted ways. And then the next fight, Audley went and fought Danny Williams. And the rest is history. So, 4.5 years after retiring from the sport, the London-born boxer is set to return through the ropes. Audley Harrison is set to return to boxing, but as a manager or trainer. I'm toying with the idea, if I train, I'll also have to manage, as I'm not having a manager select the wrong opponent for him or her, leaving me in a bad spot. In 2019, I'll be making some adjustments and likely will return to boxing. Here, business is steady. Good time to pivot. By the age of 47, Harrison, who was cruelly dubbed fraudly by some boxing critics during his career, won't be returning as a fighter. Thank heavens. He posts on Twitter that he could return as a trainer or manager and that he will be making some adjustments and likely will return to boxing. Harrison acquired his unfortunate nickname, as he was seen by many, to crumble when it really counted. This is despite entering the professional circuit after winning Olympic gold as an amateur in 2000 in Sydney. It's got a picture here of Audley Harrison landing a straight left on Martin Rogan, and that knockout win over Michael Sprott. His most talked about fight came when he got a world title shot against former friend David Haye 2010, but it was a disaster performance with Harrison as he barely threw a punch before he was KO'd in the 3rd round. He went on to have another 3 fights as well as winning a prize fight tournament before calling it quits. His last bout was against a familiar name, reigning WBC king Deontay Wilder, but it didn't end well as the Brit was stopped in 1 round. But his chance in the spotlight didn't stop there. Harrison came out on the Strictly Come Dancing show, I'm a Celebrity, Get Me Out of Here, as well as Celebrity, and somebody at the Sun can't spell celebrity, as well as Celebrity MasterChef. And now it appears as though he's cooking up a big boxing return. So, Audley Harrison, the trainer, Audley Harrison, the manager, but not Audley Harrison, the fighter. For 1 second, I thought Audley was going to come back to fight. But that brings me on to another point. But we'll talk about David Price. David Price is on the undercard of Derek Chisora versus Dillian White 2, or White versus Chisora 2. Stick him in with someone like that Scottish dude, Cornish, whatever his name is. See how he gets on. But I don't think he'll be coming back to fight. But look, David Price is back again. He's back in action on the White Chisora 2 undercard, which makes me think that I think now David Price is going to become a undercard filler for big fights. That's what it looks like. He is, if not a journeyman fighter now, he is on that road to journeyman, or he's fast tracked to journeyman mode. He's not come back as a fighter, thank goodness. So yeah, interesting, very interesting to see what happens with Audley when he comes back. But David Price coming back as a, it seems like he's going to be an undercard fighter for Sky Big Fights on pay-per-view. That's what seems to be happening with David Price. He's a filler for an undercard. That's what it seems like so now. But on the subject of fighters coming back, if Audley was to come back at 47 and he was able to, because I thought there was something wrong, he had some problems with his brain, or he was having some neurological issues, Audley, and that's why he probably wouldn't fight again. Where's something to talk about? When should a fighter be safe from himself? One. And two, should there be a Legends League in boxing? Should there be a Legends League in boxing? Let's say you get to a certain age in boxing. Let's say you get to 40 or 42. You still want to box because you're still trying to make money, right? But you can't hang with the big boys no more. Let's say they had a Legends League, Legends Championship of the World. Let's say who could take part in that tournament. You could have Roy Jones, you could have James Toney, you could have Hopkins, you could have Kawasaki come back and fight. He'd be still Kawasaki, Froch, Eubank, Ben. So guys like Nigel Benn will get to fight fighters that they wouldn't have fought in their prime. And it kind of levels itself out now because they're older now. And I mean, would you pay to watch that? You know, Lennox Lewis and the fights you never had, Lennox Lewis versus Riddick Bowe, or maybe Foreman versus Holmes, the fight you never would have seen. This realm of allows it to happen, or maybe I don't know, but just a league where fighters would be able to. I think maybe you'd have to give them head guards. I don't know, but that league maybe, I don't know, 8 rounds, 6 rounds. Ray Mercer, a heavyweight league, a middleweight league, welterweight league almost. Just imagine that. A Legends League. And then I think the qualifying age, you have to qualify, a certain age would have to be to qualify. I reckon a 54-year-old Nigel Benn beats David Lemieux by first round KO. Well, if Nigel catches him clean, he probably would. In all seriousness, I think, a league like that, I'd be interested in watching it. B. White says, Big Price is psychologically damaged, can't see him achieving anything of note. Well, you see, with guys like Price and Harrison, they're always one punch away from, disaster, but they're always one punch away from causing the upset, They've got that puncher's chance. So, who knows? Bit like Danny Williams. Yeah, Danny Williams, for example. I heard he got beat up the other day by a lightweight. I was shocked when I heard that. But yeah, a legal out could be quite interesting. I don't know what you guys would think about it, and girls. For example, I don't know. But it would be nice to see. I mean, people still now watch old Mike Tyson videos. And I'm sure people would pay to see Mike Tyson fight. The British Boxing Board of Control won't let him fight. He should go after Lee McAllister's WBU heavyweight crown. Okay, Paul, it's interesting. 10 2-minute rounds. Okay, that would be interesting. And listen, I'm not, you might think I'm crazy here, yeah, but I would rather pay pay-per-view to watch some legends fight who could actually box and were good world champions of their time. And within reason, they'll have to show that I don't want to see nobody with a pot belly fighting, right? I want to see people who've, diligently trained, got themselves into shape. Like Ben, he's going to be in good shape. He ain't going to be no pot belly. And Eubank wouldn't have a pot belly. So I want it. If I'm going to watch quality old school fighters, they've got to be in shape. I'm sorry. I am not sitting there watching some guy from pot belly come out and fight. Paulie Malignaggi can make middleweight and beat David Lemieux 120 weight. Oh dear. It sounds fun, but insurance might be expensive. Well, yeah. There might have to be a way around it. Maybe they could work out of having extra thick head guards, extra thick padding on the gloves. Because look, we don't want to see anyone get brutally knocked. Well, I don't know, maybe we do, but we understand that these guys are a lot older, so there's got to be some way to protect them. They can still box and still do what they've got to do, but it's just hard to knock certain fighters out. You know, I don't know. Would it work? How would you set it? How would the premises set up? Would it work? I think it would work, but there's a certain way. But I certainly think there should be a cutoff in boxing. What Danny Williams, the Mr. Kipling cakes lover, still fighting madness. I would love to see Hopkins versus Ben Legends fight. I would love to see that too. I'd love to see Hopkins versus Toney. There's a Legends fight there. How would Hopkins have done against James Toney? Would love to see a fight. I'd love to see how Marvin Hagler would do now. Hagler. Marvin Hagler. You've got Minter still about as well. And all these legends. So I don't know how you'd set the age category up, but I certainly think in boxing there should be a certain age category where fighters say, look, you can fight up to the age of 42, 42. And then after that, son, you join the Legends League. That way, guys can still box and still make a little bit of money. And I think for that Legends League to actually work as well, I think a percentage of every boxer in the world, even if it's 1%, every boxer in the world contributes to two things. 1% of it, their pay goes towards paying for this Legends League, because one day they themselves may want to fight in the Legends League. And the second thing I'd like to see as well is money towards an actual boxing, official boxing union, an independent boxing union to clean up the sport of boxing. We're probably not going to get that because there's so many crooks in the sport as it is. Whatever happened to Collins Jones fight? They never got it off the ground. Yeah, that was a fight that we all thought may have happened, but we'd like to see it happen. That don't think either Collins didn't want it or there was something stipulation in it. Hopkins is still in shape. He could fight Eubank or Ben in a Legends charity fight. There you go. I would love to see that. Ben versus Hopkins. Oh, that'd be a great fight. I'd love to see that fight. Or Eubank versus Hopkins. Or Hopkins versus Toney. How many other legendary fights have retired now? Carl Froch, Joe Calzaghe. I mean, that fight in a Legends League would be awesome. That'd be huge. I think that'd be a huge pay-per-view fight. Have you heard from Billy Nelson yet? No, I haven't heard from him. I did mention message him, but didn't hear nothing. If Audley's making a comeback, Big Broccoli would be a good warm up for him to get rid of the ring rust. Why should a fighter be making 300 quid on his pro day and give up 1%? Okay, well then there'll have to be some exceptions to the rule. They have to be making a certain amount of money. I think that again, these are things that come to the top of the head. They'll have to make us see. We're talking now. Um, they'll have to make a certain amount of money. So, like, there has to be a threshold. I mean, if he's making 300 of his first fight, I think that's a bit unfair. So, Eubank versus Floyd Mayweather Senior catchweight pay per view channel. Mick Hennessy's promotions. Harrison, who had trauma after retiring before, this isn't going to go down well. No, Cameron, what I understand, he's coming back as a trainer, not coming back as a fighter. Thank heavens. But the discussion we're having now is about the possibility of a Legends League. James Toney, even at an old age is finished. Slurs his words, had 92 pro fights and 100 amateurs. James Toney lost to journeyman Jason Gavin at heavyweight. At heavyweight, yeah, but James Toney's no heavyweight. I mean, James Toney can get himself down to some good weight. I say cruiserweight, light heavy cruiser. Between those two. Just between those two. I think if I was going to kick off a Legends League, the first fight I would have to kick off my Legends League would be Joe Calzaghe versus Carl Froch. That would be my first Legends League fight. Pay-per-view. And maybe on the undercard. But I don't know. How can you put Hopkins Ben as an undercard fight? I don't know. Legends League. Good on him for trying out as a trainer, to be honest. I hope he do, I hope he gives his fighters better advice than he did himself. I hope that his fighters he knows how to take his fighters to be dedicated. But you can't coach what you never did. So what I mean by that is if you weren't dedicated to training and you were out partying all the time, it's a bit hypocritical of you to be training people. And I'm not suggesting all he did or he didn't. But what I'm saying is a bit hypocritical of you as a trainer to say, right, I need you in gym every day, training all the time, when a fighter will just turn around and say to you, listen, didn't you get 1 million? Didn't you get £1 million early on in your pro career? That kind of shuts an argument down there. But yeah, back to my point. So a league, how do you think a league should work? So we've had 10 2-minute rounds. I've said a percentage of fighters, depending on the threshold, there has to be a threshold, percentage of 1% of each fighter making a certain, like all these pay-per-view styles, like a Pacquiao and Mayweather, Canelo. See them guys right there? All them top earners there? A percentage from them, 1% from them isn't that much. A percentage of what they make, 1% of what they make goes back into creating this Legends League. One day they may want to fight in it too. James Toney, Roy Jones rematch. I would like to see that. LOL. Again, the first fight was good. Oh, James Toney. No, I don't know. I don't want to see that again. No. I always thought it was Hopkins. I confused that with Hopkins. Oh dear, I don't see that again. Oh Lord. Anytime I don't remember much of that fight. All I iconically remember is when Roy Jones was clowning James Toney, and James Toney tried to clown back and he got dropped for it. That's all I remember from that. So I close this conversation by saying, good to see Audley coming back. I'm glad he's not fighting. David Price, undercard. I think he's David, the undercard filler. Price, that's what he's become now. The other guy that's coming back is Sergio Martinez, I understand. Why is he even been allowed to come back? My sperm wasn't even produced when they first fought. Laugh man out. You joker, Cameron. Um, what was I saying? Yeah, Sergio Martinez is talking about coming back to fight Julio Cesar Chavez Jr. I mean, the guy was more or less a cripple when he last fought. I think he came to the ring and he could hardly stand on both his legs. How the hell is he going to be allowed to come back and box again? I just don't get it. Don't understand it. Just seen the headline, nearly had a heart attack. I fought only for free. Yeah, only to make a comeback of 47. I'll have to put as a trainer. I'll have to change the title slightly. Hello to the channel and the chat. Sean the Lion. Hello, Sean. Hope you're well. Where are you from, Sean? Always good to see new faces in the room. So we're talking. I was just talking about Legends League. Potentially, Audley Harrison is coming back, but not as a fighter, but as a trainer or as a manager. Great, thank goodness. But as I said, I just talked about a Legends League, percentage from boxers around the world, particularly the top earners, going back into having a Legends League, which would allow guys over 40, and that would be on the premise that the boxing boards from around the world will say, look, when you hit a certain age, 40, 41, or 42, you stop boxing. Oh, Sean, I'm still in Trinidad, Sean. I'm in Trinidad for another week. So, yeah, it's been raining a lot here, boy. Lots of rain. Kazaki versus Otka at super middleweight. Both had joint 21 defenses, 168 pound. Both retired and defeated champs. A fight that never happened. Reed arguably beat both Kazaki and Otka. Yes, arguably, I would agree with you there. What do you reckon Dave Allen's next fight will be? Ain't got a clue. Uh, hey, V value have rematch in Legends League. Value may catch Hey now because Hey can't move. Hey looks like a middleweight now anyway. It's freezing here, Ingram. Trust me. It's it's quite funny while we talk about weather by the sea, right? And I travel to London, and it's colder in London than it is by the sea. And you think logically, living literally by the sea. Well, I mean by the sea, literally 1 minute walk from where I live across the road to the sea. You'd think in your mindset that because it's cold and you by the sea, you'd be colder. No, gone to London, it's been colder. Don't understand it. Don't get it. Somebody can work that out for me. I'm sure we've got some brains listening here. They'll let me know. Um, Chagonis, yes, I heard they do great doubles at their boy. Um, what's wrong with someone aiming to become the oldest world champion of all times? Yeah, there is a problem with that, and I'll tell you why there is a problem with that. Because if you think, for example, you've still got if you look at someone like Bernard Hopkins, who's consistently fighting, that may be exceptional to the rule, or exception to the rule because he's fighting consistently and regularly, and he's still showing he can compete at a high level and not get himself. I mean, how many guys went out there and knocked Bernard Hopkins out or beat him up? Hopkins did well for himself. He's able to preserve his body, and he had sort of start a style where he would roll with punches, very good defensively, and didn't rely on speed and power and reflexes, but relied more on being smart and good boxing tech fundamentals. So someone like Hopkins could probably box a lot longer because of that style. Guys like Hatton burn out quickly because they just attack, and taking punches all the time, always in wars. Um, Again, a guy like Roy Jones is another type of guy that won't last long in later in his career because his career is based on speed and reflexes. And when they go, you make a lot of bad mistakes. So when you make those mistakes when you're fast, well, you pulled your chin out of the way, it didn't matter. You slipped out of the way of punches, you made mistakes, but nobody could capitalize on it because you were so slow and so fast. Now you've got older, you're slower, you make them bad mistakes, you're getting knocked out. The guys like Hopkins can box a lot longer. Longevity, because of their style, one, and two, taking care of their body. I'm not saying Roy didn't take care of his body, but his style was what I call, it doesn't burn fast, but when it burns out and you're in trouble because you can't adapt and change your style. And that was what Roy's problem was. He couldn't change his style. If Chisora wins Ingram, do you think he will get the Joshua fight in April? Probably. Because that Chisora White fight, a rematch, unless Chisora lands a bomb in the first couple of rounds and knocks White out, that fight's gonna be another draining fight. Then yeah, if I'm managing Anthony Joshua, yeah, take Chisora next. He's had a war against White. He had a war against Takam. He had so many other wars in his career. Take that fight. So that makes sense. Um, Allen versus Bicoli will get Bicoli trainer off from signing on the dole. Half man off. You guys are just wrong, man. Just wrong. Value versus Vitaly Klitschko. Good fight. Two of the tallest heavyweight champions in history. Two iron chins. They both require a very tall ring. That's a great. That's a good fight. Vitaly wins that, I think. Vitaly wins that. I think Vitaly's a bit more skilled, good footwork, still training as well, keeping himself in tremendous shape. I understand. I'd still love to see that. Howard versus Kelly match. I think Kelly stands a chance of that one. Would you have stopped Foreman coming back? Man, I had a dream. When did Foreman come back? Copend 09. Foreman came back when he was 38 years old. So what the hell are you talking about? I think he was 38 or 39 when he made his comeback. And again, listen to what I'm saying to you. Foreman fought consistently. I think every month Foreman was fighting at one point. So there are exceptions to the rule. I'm not talking about guys who come back like haven't fought for about 10 years and come back and say, yeah, I'm going to fight for the championship of the world. Them type of guys are a danger to the sport. You know, I'm not talking about them type of guys is what I'm talking about. I'm not talking about guys like I gave you the example of Hopkins. I swear people don't listen when I talk. I gave you the example of Hopkins. Hopkins is a guy that fights, who's fighting regularly, you know, and still performing at a pretty high level. George Foreman, we didn't know what Foreman was like when he came back, and he showed us big knockout power. Foreman could always punch. So, Hay saying Chisora has some magic he's never seen before was typical Hay mode. Yeah, I did say that, didn't I, Cameron? I said Hay should go for Prime Minister. Chisora will never fight his former stablemate in AJ. Really? Really? You believe that? Listen, I'd rather believe the fact that Chisora will fight AJ simply because um, there's money in it. Chisora is about the money. I mean, if you don't know that by now about Derek Chisora, you'll never know that about Derek Chisora. Chisora is about the money. That's it. Plain and simple. I've been around Chisora long enough to know it's about the money. Foreman would probably come back now and beat Frezequenda and win a world title, to be honest. Yeah, that you know it. Ortiz, Povetkin versus Ortiz, legends fight. Povetkin, the most decorated amateur heavyweight of the last 20 years. Ortiz, the oldest active heavyweight in boxing. 72. That's a good fight there. Ortiz Povetkin, good fight. Um, Hay could sell anything, but he couldn't persuade his wife to stay with him. That's a cracking one-liner there. That's just wrong. No, we should stay together. Stay together. I'll show you something you've never seen in my career. You've never seen in my life before. Honey, if you stay together with me now, I'll show you things that believe me, no man could ever show you. Could you imagine David? I mean, that'd be fun. That'd be funny. Oh dear. I think there was too much video evidence, to be honest. There was probably too much video evidence. People say that wasn't me. That wasn't me. That was a lookalike. It wasn't me, David. It's you. It's you, David. Shannon Briggs is the most date. Oh, look at this. Check this out. Shannon Briggs. We have right. Shannon Briggs. Hey, where's Don King when you need him? Shannon Briggs. Yeah, Staver's knocking on. He could probably end up in this tournament as well. Shannon Briggs. No, I don't think Shannon Briggs wants to see Klitschko again. I think that was what once is long enough. So I don't think he wants to see him again. Shannon Briggs, Ortiz, Valiev. You've got to put Klitschko in that tournament. James Toney. Bernard Hopkins always said he wanted to be heavyweight champion of the world. We'll throw some tournament in there. There's an LBF. I think there's a Legends Boxing Federation. I believe. I understand. Hey to his wife. That person in the video is a clone of me. I am faster, more athletic. We can do a one-night stand together and show you I'm David. Hey, 103. 3.0. Just wrong. You guys are just wrong. Absolutely wrong. I mean, look. What happened with Hay and Joe Joyce? Has he teamed up with Chisora as Joyce has left him to go to the States? Or is it to make Joyce versus Chisora easier? There you go. There's one right there. Look, check that one out. Check that one out right there. That's quite smart. I like that one. Whoever thought that went Paul? I like that one. Like that one very well. Nice. So yeah, the Legends League I'm thinking about. I think that'd be quite interesting. When I talk about this, like this guy now, Sergio Martinez, there's got to be something to say. You know what? Like, boy, listen, your last fight, you were shot to pieces. Here's another one, Brandon Ríos. That's a guy right there that should not be anywhere near a boxing ring again. Brandon Ríos. No, Joyce run off with his wife. She wanted a heavy hitter. Oh, you guys are wrong. Just wrong. Yeah, Brandon Ríos is another one of these fighters that should not be anywhere near a boxing ring again. Right? You look at the way he got knocked out by Danny Garcia. That knockout was bad, you know, real bad. I personally I like to see Brandon Ríos and Ortiz. Yeah, Ortiz Ríos. That's the fight I want to see. What's his name again? I can see his Ortiz again. The Ortiz that fought Mayweather. I can see his name. I can see his face. I can't remember his first name is again. I can see his face. I can't remember his first name. Something Ortiz. Somebody will bring it to me in a minute. But yeah, Brandon Ríos is a guy that should not be boxing again. Should not. Absolutely not. But then the other thing we should do, what should happen as well, is these fighters need to be educated how to spend their money proper, how to use their money better, how to invest. Victor Ortiz, that's the guy. I turn my head when I look at Victor Ortiz, but I still would like to see Victor Ortiz and Brandon Ríos fight because that is proper beef. That's no made up stuff. That's proper bad blood. That's a proper bad feeling there. So I'd love to see that. Right. Still, Victor Ortiz, Brandon Ríos. I'm sure Ríos has earned a lot. Pacquiao made 7 figures. Yeah, but he's still come back and fight it again. So that makes you wonder, doesn't it? Makes you wonder. Makes you wonder. Yeah, right. I don't think I've got much more to talk about on this. David Price, the undercard filler. Audley Harrison, thank goodness, is coming back as a manager and a trainer. I'm not sure what kind of a trainer Audley Harrison's going to be. He might be a better manager than a trainer. I'm not sure how Audley works out as a trainer. I'm not sure. I don't know. I think he had good advice given to him. Lennox Lewis gave him great advice. He didn't take it. So I don't know what I don't know. I don't know what he's going to prove himself. But you know what? Audley's a very analytical type of guy. He might well do well for himself as a trainer. Hey, could sell a used condom. I did say that, didn't I? Wow. Yeah, he could. He could. You like that? You like that line, eh? Cam- um, Cameron, you like that line I dropped the other day? Yeah, that hey could sell a used condom, eh? Oh dear. Oh dear. Oh dear. Oh dear. Cal Brook, I read something somewhere talking about hey could sell sell you a turd. You said yeah, he could though. If it was 18 months ago when David Hay was a legitimate heavyweight contender, the public believed he could beat Joshua. Hay David Hay was ranked number one in WO, lying for a WO title shot versus Parker. It like makes you that when you think about that for a second, why the hell did David Hay entertain that fight with Tony Bellew? Why did he fight into why did he? I don't think if he was with Adam Booth, I don't think Adam Booth would have allowed it. I don't think Adam Booth would have let him fight Tony Bellew, you know? Could you imagine today if David Hay had actually gone on and fought Anthony Joshua? What happened if David Hay had swerved the Bellew fight and taken on Anthony Joshua? Would you have done any better? Because well, Joshua would have been slower than Bellew because Bellew would have covered from cruiserweight to heavyweight. I don't know. Been interesting. Hay could sell Cornish versus David Howe rematch on box office for the dosh. Yeah, but you telling me that Bellew brings in more money than Anthony Joshua? Come on, man. Come on, man. Even her natures have got to accept that. Right, I'm going to get out of here because if I don't get out of here, I'm not going to be able to do my foot manager tonight. So, right, much love to you all. Don't forget to check out our video that I've uploaded just recently. It was of the training cave. Don't forget, December the 1st in Leeds, Jack Sunderland. Jack Sunderland and his merry men on Young Fighters will all be fighting on their first card, their first amateur card for the training cave, December the 1st. Check it out. If you want to know more information about it, check out the videos that have been uploaded. The training cave is a wonderful bunch of young people like that gym and adults as well, run by Jack Sunderland and Steve Artie there as well, one of the assistant trainers there. They're doing a wonderful job with those young boys there. So yeah, check those videos out. The Training Cave. Hopefully, we'll have Jack Sunderland back in as well to the mix. See you all real soon. Don't forget, it's not just all about professional boxing. Got to support your amateur boxing as well. I'm out of here. Thank you once again for watching. We'll speak soon.